So you've got access to ChatGPT-5, powerful stuff. But maybe the results still feel a bit flat sometimes.
Yeah, it happens to everyone. You've got this amazing tool, but the output can sound generic, kind of uninspired.
Right, beat. But don't panic. The problem usually isn't the AI itself. It's more about how we're asking the questions, how they're communicating.
Exactly. It's like we're giving a jet engine instructions meant for, I don't know, a lawnmower. We're not tapping into its full capacity.
Mm-hmm.
It's that classic capacity paradox. Advanced tool, basic instructions. So, welcome to the deep dive.
Today we're going straight past the basics.
We've dug into the research and pulled out 12 really proven techniques to shift your ChatGPT-5 results from okay to, well, masterpiece.
This is going to be your shortcut to getting sophisticated results.
We've structured it around 3 main areas. What are they?
Okay, first up, the core prompting mindset, like the actual words you use to make the AI think harder.
Then second, we'll get into context and using different inputs, files, pictures, the new branches feature, building that deep memory.
Yeah, the multimodal stuff.
And finally, we hit what we're calling expert mode, looking at automation with agent mode, custom personalities, and, crucially, managing its memory.
By the end of this, you should feel genuinely well-informed on how to use this thing at a much higher level.
Let's dive in.
All right, segment 1, foundational prompt engineering. Let's unpack that core prompting mindset first.
The research we looked at really highlights this idea that your prompt sends a signal. It tells the AI how hard it actually needs to work on your request.
So it's like the AI internally assesses the prompt and decides, okay, how much energy should I put into this?
Pretty much. If the prompt seems simple, it defaults to, like, a conservation mode. It doesn't go all out. You need to tell it to override that.
Ah, so the default is kind of lazy mode unless we specifically push it.
Exactly. And that brings us to tip 1, the magic phrases. These are specific words or sentences you add to your prompt.
Things like,
think step by step, or be extremely thorough, or maybe take your time, and even this is critical to get right.
So these phrases are basically like telling a colleague, hey, this one's important, don't rush it, put some real thought into it.
Precisely. It signals maximum effort required.
And the examples show a clear difference, right? Like drafting a simple social media post.
Yeah, the basic prompt gets you basic text. But you add those phrases, specify structure, ask for details, maybe even tell it to prompt interaction like tag a friend.
And suddenly the quality jumps way up. It's much more usable immediately.
Okay, so we can tell it to think harder, but how do we make sure it actually meets our specific quality standards, especially for complex tasks?
That leads right into tip 2, the self-critique method. This is where we make the AI grade its own work before it even shows us anything.
Ooh, I like that. How does it work?
You give the AI a quality checklist before it starts writing. You define what good looks like up front.
Okay, so say you're writing a really important job application email.
Right. Your checklist might demand. Tone must be professional, but also excited. Needs perfect clarity. Must mention specific company details personalization.
Ooh.
And needs a clear call to action, like asking for an interview.
Got it. And then you tell the AI.
You tell it to run up to 5 internal improvement cycles using that checklist. It basically edits itself, refining the draft against your criteria without you seeing the messy in-between steps.
It acts as its own secret editor. That's clever.
It is. You know, I still wrestle with prompt drift myself sometimes. My intention gets kind of fuzzy after a few back and forths.
Oh, totally. Happens to the best of us.
But this self-critique idea feels like genius, almost, because it locks in your definition of success right from the very start. It forces the AI to stick to the plan.
Which connects perfectly to tip 3, something that trips people up all the time. Never give mixed messages. We do it accidentally, constantly.
No. The classic contradiction. Be brief, but provide detailed explanations.
Right. The AI gets stuck. It's like telling someone to walk straight and turn left at the same time. It just fuzzes out. Can't do both well.
So the fix is clarity, prioritization.
Exactly. Separate the requests. Like, first, provide brief summaries. Then maybe I'll ask for detailed explanations on specific points if I need them.
That way, it can focus all its processing power on one clear task at a time. Makes sense.
So, tying this together, since getting that initial quality right seems so dependent on having clear intent, how much time should people really invest in refining that very first instruction?
Well, based on this, defining success clearly up front using these methods. It'd probably save you 10 times that amount later, not having to fix vague or confused outputs.
Good point. Clarity up front prevents messy cleanup.
Okay, moving on from the words themselves. Segment 2 gets into building context and using different kinds of input. Tip 4 highlights this big shift toward true multimodal input.
Yeah, this is huge. We're not just limited to text anymore. We can use pictures, upload files, even use our voice to give the AI context.
It really changes things, especially for stuff that has structure or visual elements.
Definitely. Take the CV analysis example from the source material. You upload your CV, maybe as a PDF, maybe even an image.
Okay.
And then you prompt ChatGPT, telling it something like, act as an expert HR manager with 15 years of experience and critique this CV.
And because it can actually see the layout, the design, the white space, it's not just reading the words.
Exactly. It critiques the visual structure alongside the wording. It gives you actionable feedback on things you'd normally need a human consultant for.
That's pretty powerful, like getting expert design feedback instantly.
And a pro tip they mentioned, upload your version, maybe the bad one, and also a good example you like. Then ask it for visual comparison advice.
Oh, smart. Side-by-side critique.
Also, quick note on voice, the little microphone icon. That's usually just for transcription. But the sound wave icon, that's the more advanced back and forth conversational mode, like a real assistant.
Good distinction. Okay, tip 5 takes us from analysis to creation. Building simple apps using something called Canvas Mode.
Yeah, this is cool. It's basically designing useful little custom tools without needing to write any code.
Like the example they gave, a weekly meal planner and shopping list generator.
Right. You tell it what you want. Specify the design, use light colors, make 2 sections. And the functionality, I need 7 boxes for meals, a shopping list I can check off, and crucially, a button labeled Generate My Week that automatically fills in the ingredients based on the meals.
And the AI just builds it, handles the layout, the buttons, the logic.
In minutes, yeah. You get a working visual tool that solves a real problem, no coding required. Pretty amazing.
Wow. Okay, next up, tip 6, using branches. What problem does this solve?
This tackles that really common issue where you're exploring one idea in a chat, but then you think of an alternative you want to explore,
Yeah.
but you don't want to derail the main conversation or lose the context.
Yeah, conversation drift.
Exactly. Branches let you create separate, parallel conversations that all stem from the same starting point, the same original query.
So, the trip planning example. You start by asking about 2 places, say Daolat and Fuquoc.
Then you can create a branch for Dalit to plan the budget and activities just for there, and another branch for Fuquoc to do the same.
But both branches remember the original context, like the total trip length or overall budget.
Precisely. The core info remains, but the detailed exploration happens in separate threads without confusing each other. Great for comparing options or exploring what-ifs.
Very useful. And that brings us to tip 7 for this segment. Use projects. What are these?
Think of these as more than just folders. They're sophisticated, continuous memory workspaces.
Okay, so you'd set up a project, maybe call it Q4 marketing project.
Yep. And then you upload relevant files directly into that project. Brand style guides, past campaign reports, competitor analysis.
And custom instructions, too, like always write in our friendly but professional brand voice.
Exactly. And here's the key value. Continuous memory. Anything you put in that project, files, instructions, even past conversations within it, ChatGPT remembers it for every new chat you start inside that same project.
So it's always building on previous context within that specific project. No more re-explaining the brand voice every single time.
That's the power. Super efficient. Though, note, there might be limits on file uploads depending on your plan, like maybe 5 files for free users. Still very useful.
Okay, lots of tools there. So for someone just starting to explore these more advanced features, which one of these files, Canvas, branches, projects, offers the quickest, most immediate payoff, like fastest return on investment?
Good question. I'd probably argue using files, especially that CV critique example. Uploading a document you already have and getting instant expert-level feedback on its structure and design, that's immediate value you previously had to pay quite a bit for.
Yeah, that makes sense. Instant expert feedback is hard to beat. All right, let's move into segment 3. Expert mode. This is about really leveraging the system for learning, honing voice, and getting ultimate control. Tip 8 introduces study mode.
Yeah, this isn't just about getting information from the AI. It's about learning through a conversation that actively challenges your thinking.
How does that work in practice?
The example prompt is great. Create an AI board of experts to help evaluate my business idea. And then you describe your idea.
So the example was healthy meal kits for busy professionals in Ho Chi Minh City, HCMC.
Right. And the AI doesn't just give you facts. It responds by adopting specific roles. It might say, okay, I'm the operations expert. Question, how will you ensure delivery freshness during peak HCMC traffic?
Ah, so it's asking challenging questions from different perspectives.
Exactly. Then maybe it switches. Now I'm the finance expert. Your proposed price point seems low. How will you ensure profitability considering ingredient cost fluctuations?
So you're forced to actively problem solve and defend your idea against expert level scrutiny, rather than just passively reading info.
That's it. It really pushes your assumptions. Invaluable for stress testing any idea.
Okay, next. Combating that robotic AI tone. Tip 9. Write like a real person.
This is crucial if you want the output to sound genuinely human. It's a two-step process they recommend.
Step 1.
Provide 2 or 3 samples of your own writing. Stuff you think sounds like you.
Okay, so it learns your style. And step 2.
You give it a framework prompt with some unbreakable rules. Things like keep most sentences under 15 words, use simple vocabulary, strictly avoid buzzwords, synergy, optimize leverage,
Oh, yes. Please avoid those.
and connect ideas naturally using simple conjunctions like and, but, so.
So it's a combination. Model your specific voice, but also enforce general rules of clear, simple human writing.
That's the magic combo. Makes the output feel much more conversational and less like, well, like a machine wrote it.
Now, for the really advanced stuff. Tip 10. Agent mode. This sounds serious.
It is. It requires a paid plan, but agent mode essentially puts ChatGPT on autopilot for complex, multi-step tasks.
Autopilot. Like what?
Think research projects, browsing the web for information, even designing visuals. It can string together multiple actions to achieve a goal you set.
Whoa. Okay, hang on. Imagine scaling that. Having an agent plan an entire trip, research a whole market report, and create the presentation slides while you just sort of watch.
That's the potential. It handles the research, the browsing, the integration between different tools, like pulling info and then feeding it to an image generator.
Okay, give me the specific example they used.
Planning a company team-building event. The task was, plan a 2-day event for 30 employees near HCMC. Budget is 1.5 million VND per person, about $60 US.
That's a complex task, lots of variables.
And agent mode apparently handled it. It autonomously researched 3 suitable resorts nearby, compared them, created a detailed minute-by-minute schedule for the 2 days.
Okay, impressive.
And it designed a fun announcement poster for the event using the built-in image generator. It delivered the whole package.
A task that would normally take a person, what, days? Done automatically.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a glimpse of the future right there.
it really is. Now, finishing up with tips 11 and 12, these are quicker hits on maximizing control and making sure the AI works smoothly for you over time.
Tip 11 covers extra controls.
Right. Little things, but important. Like the edit message feature lets you tweak your prompt after you send it without losing the whole conversation context. Super useful for fixing typos or refining your ask.
Oh, that's handy. No more starting over for one mistake.
And connectors, these are integrations, usually paid, linking ChatGPT to other tools like your Google Drive or Calendar. So you could ask it to, say, summarize my unread emails from the last 24 hours.
Integration is key. What else?
Personalities. You can choose different default interaction styles like robot for purely factual, Lookner for supportive, cynic for critical feedback, or nerd for deep dives.
So you can kind of set the default mood for the conversation.
Yeah. And also the ability to access older models like GPT-4, usually tucked away in the settings if you need them for some reason.
Okay, and finally, tip 12. This sounds important. Manage memory.
Hugely important, and probably the most underrated control. ChatGPT remembers things about you and your preferences across different chats to personalize responses. That's stored in its memory.
Which sounds good, but
But that memory can get outdated. If you told it 6 months ago you were working on Project X, but now you're on Project Y, it might still be tailoring answers based on old, irrelevant context from Project X.
so its memory needs tidying up.
Exactly. You need to regularly go into settings, personalization and review, edit, or clear out old memories that are no longer relevant to your current goals.
So keeping the memory clean ensures the answers stay accurate and focused on what you need now, not what you needed last year.
Precisely. It prevents context drift and keeps the AI aligned with your current reality. It's essential maintenance for long-term reliable use.
Okay, we've covered a ton of features there, from basic mindset shifts to complex automation and control. Based on everything we've synthesized, what's the single most underrated control people skip that really costs them accuracy over time?
I think it has to be that memory management. It's not flashy, but forgetting to prune that old context means the AI is working with bad data about you. Cleaning the memory ensures consistency and accuracy. It's the foundation for reliable long-term results.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Ongoing maintenance is key. So, wrapping this up, the big idea, the core takeaway from this deep dive really seems to be that the difference between getting amazing AI results and just okay results, it isn't really about the AI's raw capability anymore.
No, it's about us. It's about how well we communicate with it, how clearly we give instructions, how we provide context, how we guide its thinking.
These 12 techniques we covered aren't just clever tricks. They feel more like fundamental shifts in how we need to interact with these powerful systems. Better communication leads to better outcomes.
Absolutely. So, if you're listening and want to try just a few things this week, what would you prioritize?
Based on our discussion, I'd say 1. Try using those magic phrases like think step by step on your next complex prompt. See if you notice a difference.
Good one. 2.
2. Implement that self-critique method. Create a quality checklist for an important email or document before you ask the AI to write it.
Define success up front. And 3.
Set up your first project. Upload a key document, like a style guide or project brief, and experience that continuous memory benefit.
Solid starting points.
Yeah.
Now, for a final thought to leave people with. Considering that agent mode's power, we talked about autonomously researching, planning, designing complex things.
Yeah.
And the source material even hinted at people using these techniques to build multiple businesses rapidly.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? If you truly master this kind of AI communication, what parts of your own work, your own projects, maybe even parts of running a small business, could you realistically automate this year?
That's a provocative question. Moving beyond just assistance to actual autonomous execution of complex tasks, what becomes possible then?
Something to think about. We really hope this deep dive into the source material saved you some serious learning time and gave you practical tools.
If you found these insights useful, maybe share this with a friend or colleague who's also trying to level up their AI game.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.